I created the most craziest, unusable park known to man. You deserve to be burnt if you're wearing a shirt like that. I started off by creating a path. I realised I had free will in this game and why not use it? The path I decided to create was very unusable because it took 20 minutes for the first person to actually reach it, which was this guy right here. After I checked on the progress of our guests, I decided to start by building our first death trap. I started by building a very small pool, the intention being to put a flume in it. As you can imagine, once guests started going down this, the pool was very cramped with many flumes. Obviously I went and checked where our guests were. This was about 8 minutes in. They hadn't even got past the first round of it. Great to see. Love this for them. Obviously we weren't just going to leave it just there, we were going to add in another flume which features 4 singular flumes coming off of it, because why not make it more dangerous, more crowded and more generally unusable for people to enjoy. I tested them up, had a little look, and I positioned the pathway right in the firing line. But why stop there? Why not add yet another flume? This was a big boy. This was a real big boy. Didn't quite have the power. The guests were still coming. This was about 15 minutes in. I found a little gap and I thought, you know what will work there? Another flume. Why not? As you can imagine, this is going to cause chaos later on in the video when many guests try and use the flume. Again, I thought to myself, how can I cause more chaos? Why don't I build a ride that goes through the pathing, through the pathway, through the queue line, through to hit the guests. At this point, I thought it was a brilliant idea. I didn't know that Planet Coaster, you weren't actually able to hit the guests, unlike you could in the other one where they could just topple over and pretty much die on the floor. I decided to up the ante a little bit and build another ride and going through the pathways this time. This time it was going to be a tracked ride, just so I could build it as far as I could, round and round, and get as many guests as we could with it. As you can see, I definitely wasn't holding back on this one, turning it around literally to hit every single possible bit of guest pathway possible so no guest was safe in this park. I had a little look to see where our guests were. They still hadn't got round. This guy was still on his way, the one that took 20 minutes. Looks exhausted, but that's what we want to see. At this point, I was just finishing up building the tracked ride, and I thought to myself, it doesn't actually have to end. I can just use test dummies on it, so it never has to finish. At this point, the guy was getting very close to the end of the flume, and I definitely did not want to miss that. And like I said, after 20 minutes, our first guests arrived to use our very safe swimming pool and flumes. I was feeling very excited at this point as well because I saw the people mover in line about to hit some people. Unfortunately, it didn't end up actually going on time, so I had to reset it and go again. And then I was feeling very optimistic again, it was going to hit these ones, and unfortunately, it just missed them. But don't be too alarmed because there's one just after it, and it hits and it goes bam. I was feeling a little bit disappointed by this. I was generally thinking it was going to knock them over, but fear not, I did not give up on that one. I was feeling very annoyed because the car was literally just going past people, they weren't getting knocked down and people were walking through the tracks. I decided to take it upon myself to see if I could build a glass container to keep the guests in. I have no idea why I wanted to do this, I just felt like I had to. But they walked straight through the glass. At this point I was getting very frustrated with myself and I decided to bring out the big guns. I built a wall thinking, you know what, they ain't going to be able to walk through a wall. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt, they walked straight bloody through it. As you can imagine, the frustration is getting very real at this point, thinking how the hell are these people walking through walls? Are they vampires or something? I decided to place a massive swimming pool. I don't really know what this achieved, so I started to build walls, and again, they literally went through every single bloody one. I put some rocks in, and I thought to myself, this is it. This is going to be it. How on earth are they going to walk through a rock? I couldn't see them, so I thought maybe they'd just, despawned out of the park, and then, just on cue, the little twats come through the rock. Brilliant. But I was not going to give up there, and I thought to myself, what can I do to be even more destructive to these guests? Fire. What's more destructive and harmful than fire? And they walked straight through it. At this point, obviously, I was about ready to kill them myself by drowning them, which I thought probably wouldn't work because they'd probably just know how to swim. I gave up on those guests and I decided to go and torment someone else. I decided to start by cutting the path out so they were literally trapped in this little segment, but allowing the other guests to go through, and I just had them trapped in this little square here. Once I set fire to those particular guests, I then decided to go and torment some more. These ones I decided to trap and build a little cave underneath them and fill it with water. Just hoping they'd just float. I was hoping I could bring it up a little bit higher so that they were completely submerged and they were just jumping up and down, but unfortunately my plan did not work. I made the terrain a little bit higher, added some trees. I don't really know why I added the trees. I then got the glass panel out and squished these children in between the glass panel, because that's just me. For my final horrible act in my park, I decided to trap these people in a queue line and fill the area with dirt. I don't really know what I was going for here. It was just funny to watch them jump up and down, getting covered in dirt. They were making too much noise, so I decided to cave them in as well. Then I felt a little bit icky about this one, so I decided in the end I was going to let them out after trapping them, making them cough, and then I let them out. It was just funny to me just watching them come out like they hadn't seen the sun in like years. But yeah, so that was a little bit of chaos, a little bit of fun. These people are still trapped in a pool. These people are getting hit. These people are on fire. What more could you possibly ask for, really? That's the ones coming out like they hadn't seen the sun before. But yes, thank you so much, guys, for watching. Hope you enjoyed that as much as I did, and I'll see you all next time.